This is your power list, searching through the garbage bins of your favorite IPL teams to work out what is really happening. This is not a points table, and I guarantee I hate your favorite team as much as I hate everyone else's. We are looking at strength of schedule, quality of result, vibes, how the 11s or 12s, I suppose now, line up. We'll work out who goes where before finally throwing darts at a board and just going with that. I think CSK was the tricky team this week. You can make a pretty good argument for them being, as low as 4th? But we went well above that. And it's a mess down at the bottom as well. I saw Punjab at 130 to 1 to win the entire tournament on one betting site. That seems unfair, even if they will definitely not win this tournament. If you need a VPN, go Nord. Use nordvpn.com/Kimber to get a 2-year contract with a discount, plus 4 extra months, plus gifts in some markets. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the show notes. Protect your computer like a blocker protects the stumps with NordVPN today. Rajasthan's record is 1-1. They lost away versus Gujarat and they won at Punjab. They still look like the best team in the league. However, they lost the game that they should have won, right? Especially at home, and they were ahead in the game until the 18th over of the second innings, but ended up losing the plot to Rashid Khan and Rahul Tewatia. The match against Punjab was a lot closer, probably it should have been, but when you consider the fact that they won despite Josh Butler, Nandre Berger, R. Ashwin and Sandeep Sharma, that's pretty good, because depth was one of my big concerns with them. I think their best young player has quite clearly been Riyan Parag, who scored 284 runs. He's averaging 71 at a strike rate of 155. It is easily his most productive IPL season to date. In fact, he might go on to outscore all of his previous totals at the moment. He's one of the favourites to be the top scorer in the tournament. I think I would lay those odds, but I understand it. But he certainly repaid the faith in a team that has been pushing him for a long, long time now. He probably has a bit of an issue still with chewing balls up at the start of his innings, but once he gets going, he looks really, really good and has got them out of a few binds. Their best vet, Keshav Maharaj, right? Not a lot of people would have expected Maharaj to get a game, especially with the other 2 spinners that they already have in their lineup. But he has, and his figures across 2 games are 2 for 39 in 6 overs, including a very good, probably match-winning spell against Punjab as well. And when Ashwin wasn't there, he stood up. He's bowled in the power play. He's bowled a little bit later on. He probably didn't complain when they only gave him 2 overs in the game that he definitely should have bowled more. So, their upcoming fixtures, they are at KKR, home versus Mumbai, and at LSG. If they could split the away games and win versus Mumbai, they're pretty much on track for what they need to be. They possibly need a few more runs from their openers, and eventually they're going to need for their team not to be fully injured. But as I said before, that was my big concern, was whether they'd be able to handle injuries. So far, they have. CSK have gone 2-0. They won versus KKR at home, and they won at Mumbai. They lost 2 on the trot before this week, so other people had concerns. Probably less so me, but they've bounced back pretty strongly. It was very important to win the game against KKR because it might be the sort of game that ends up being worth double points towards the other end of the season. And remember that Mumbai looked like they were going to chase 207 as well, so there was some good signs in that one. And Deshpande and Shardul had bowled brilliant overs at the end, and in fact, Deshpande's been ridiculously good all the way through, and Dubé is still hitting a lot of boundaries, although he's gone back to hitting 4s for some reason. And Gaikwad has made runs. I think their best youngster at the moment is Partharana. He has figures of 8 for 88 in 12 overs. Yep, that is correct. 8 of those have come after the 14th over mark as well. He's looking absolutely fantastic. And what I liked about his last game is he wasn't even bowling that many poor balls, and he didn't bowl wides. It was all happening for him. But their best vet is probably Mustafiza Rahman. And if they can get the best out of Mustafiza and Partharana, it's a hell of a death combo there. But he's taken 10 wickets, which is... He hasn't taken wickets like this in a very long time. His economy rate is 9.15. So he's been a little bit expensive, but that wicket boom has really helped them, especially because some of those wickets have been earlier on, even if he does bowl a lot of overs in the death. Their upcoming fixtures include home and away versus LSG, and then they are playing the Sunrisers at home. This is a tricky little schedule for them. They won't have it easy, but a 2-1 split here would mean they've done pretty well and they're still well above 500. KKR's recent record is 1-1. They lost at CSK and they won versus LSG. They actually had a great power play against CSK despite losing Phil Salt off the first delivery. However, Jadeja just kind of ended them at that point. Against LSG, the opposition never really got going, but I thought it was very good that Stark and Chakravarti looked like themselves again, and Salt and Shreyas batted in contrasting methods to get them home in that one. Their best youngster has to be Harshit Rana. His overall figures read 507 in 12 overs. And it's not always been pretty, but he has bowled quite a few overs at the death, and a very memorable final over against the Sunrisers as well. Their best vet has clearly been Sunil Narone. Bowling has probably been about par, maybe slightly above par, what you would expect from him. But the opening experiment is not over, and he's been fantastic so far for them. 167 runs in 5 innings, an average of 42 and a strike rate of 183. He's really good at cricket, and every now and again he does this. They have 3 home games coming up against the Royals, RCB and Punjab. So we have them a little bit lower at the moment, but there's every chance that they go at least 2-1, but maybe even 3-0 in this section. If that's the case, they're certainly going to be looking at the finals without any issues from then on in. Sunrisers only had the 1 game this week, and they won it away at Punjab. They ended up posting 182 for 7 despite struggling at one stage because of Nitesh Kumar Reddy's 64 off 37. I thought that was a fantastic innings. And even though they took 3 wickets in the power play and looked well on top, Shashank and Ashutosh gave them a bit of a scare at the end. The best youngster, Abhishek Sharma, maybe. He's the second quickest scorer this season behind Andre Russell, and he scored 177 runs and an average of 35, striking at more than 2 runs a ball. He's given them a lot of very quick starts, including one extremely quick one. The best vet, it has to be Pat Cummins, and probably by a distance, because he can't really do anything wrong. After being the best test bowler in the world for a while, and then winning a 50-over World Cup after struggling for a little bit, he's now decided to crack T20 cricket. After years of not being particularly good, he's picked up 6 wickets at an economy of 7.3. The wickets are good, and obviously A+, but it's the economy that I've been absolutely shocked at, and he's looked better and better as this tournament has gone on. So their upcoming fixtures include 2 away games against RCB and Delhi, and then they have a home game again against RCB. That's a pretty easy schedule coming up, right? And again, they could go past Chennai in the next one. If they can manage to go 3-0 here, it makes it very hard for them to actually get into a position when they cannot qualify. But 2-1 sets them up pretty nicely as well. LSG, they are 0-2. They lost versus Delhi at home and KKR on the road. And they had defended all the targets above 160 in the IPL before these 2 matches. And it was not even close. They lost with 11 and 26 balls to spare, respectively. I actually don't know what it all went on in the Kolkata game, so there's a part of me that just needs to move on from that. But it wasn't a good 2-game stretch. The best youngster, it's probably Mayank Yadav, isn't it? It's not a surprise, of course. The biggest problem at the moment is he's not playing for them. Might he be the difference between them and a genuine run at the playoffs? The best vet, Krunal Pandya. Even though he's gone for a few in the last couple of games, he has had impact performances with bat and ball. 3 for 11 in 4 overs versus Gujarat, and none for 19 in 4 overs versus Rajasthan. 43 off 22 against Punjab as well. Some good things there. Upcoming games, they have 2 games at home against CSK and Rajasthan Royals, but they're also travelling to CSK. Those are 3 very, very tough games. They could go 0-3 if things don't go their way. But 2 home games. If they are a genuine finals chance, they really should be going 2-1 here. If they go 1-2, maybe they slightly lose touch with the other good teams. This might end up deciding where they end up on the table. Gujarat Titans went 1-0 versus Rajasthan Royals away, and they needed 83 of the last 6 overs against a very good Royals bowling lineup, and they did it. It was a great chase, really, and Gill played a great innings where Rashid and Tawatia gave them a good finish. The best youngster, Noor Ahmed, has looked fantastic. You might argue he's looked the best of the 2 wrist spinners, and the other guy's still pretty good as well. He's got 3 wickets in 4 matches, an economy rate of 8.06. According to our true metrics, he's a 0.27 runs per over better than an average bowler, and he's slightly taking under wickets. I think with a little bit of luck, he would have taken a lot more wickets so far. Their best vet is, Mohit Sharma? He started off brilliantly in the first 3 matches. He picked up 6 wickets and an economy of 7.77. Since then, he has gone for a lot of runs and only taken a couple of wickets. But overall, I still think he's been a plus for them. Whether he's as good as he has been before, that is debatable. And so their upcoming fixtures, they're playing at home versus Delhi, at Punjab, and then away versus Delhi. That's 3 pretty easy games. They could rocket up this power list. If they are a legit contender, they should probably try and go 3-0 in these. But even go 2-1 and they're on a roll. Mumbai Indians went 1-1. They had 2 home games and they beat RCB and then they lost to CSK. They destroyed RCB, if we're being honest, and they had the game against CSK. Their bowling is still not ideal, despite Jasprit Bumrah, who might actually be in career best form, which for him is kind of scary. Their best youngster, and maybe we're stretching youngster, as we are a couple of times here, but their best, less experienced player is Ishan Kishan. He's been a beast in the power play, scoring 146 runs at 49 and a strike rate of 183. He's not actually kicked on as much in the middle overs at the moment, but that's not really his job at the top. And their best vet has been Rohit Sharma. He's lost the captaincy, but he's looking pretty good in every other way. There's a lot of discussion about the way he bats and the World Cup and all these sorts of things. But so far, he's scored 261 runs at 52 and a strike rate of 167. In the power play, his strike rate is 177. And let's be honest, he'd been poor for quite a while, so this is a huge plus season for him. Mumbai played a lot of games at home, and they're now going to go on the road. They're at Punjab, Royals, and Delhi. Now, of course, 2 of these are easier games. But if they go 1-2 here, it's kind of over. So 2 and 3 is the absolute minimum. And let's say they lose the Royals game, they are playing 2 other poorer sides. They have a chance. Punjab Kings went 0-2, and they did that at home against the Sunrisers and the Royals. I think it's fair to say that they played 2 better sides, and they were on the wrong side of fairly close games. That's why I've got them a little bit higher here. And if you go back to that RCB game, they could have actually been level on points with Gujarat and LSG. However, I mean, it just doesn't look like a good team, so they probably don't deserve to be that. The best youngster, Ashutosh Sharma, I really enjoyed watching him go about, the way he hits the ball and everything else. He scored 95 runs off 48 deliveries, and he's only gone out once. And Shashank has maybe been more valuable amongst their new finds, but, you know, we've already stretched youngster a little bit. I'm not sure we can use it for a 32-year-old. Their best vet, Kagisa Rabada. His form wasn't ideal in 2023. However, he's picked up 9 wickets and an economy rate of 7.95 this season. He's been used as an all-phase option, and as I've said before, you pretty much want to use him for 1 over all the way through and use him as a constant wicket-taking threat. Their upcoming fixtures, 2 home games against Mumbai and Gujarat, and then they're on the road to KKR. The KKR one is going to be a tricky one. We're going to have to assume they're probably going to lose that. That means that the Mumbai and Gujarat is their last chance at any sort of a decent season. I think they're more likely to go 1-2 looking at this. The Delhi Capitals' recent record is 1-1. They lost away to Mumbai and to LSG. Delhi's bowling was kind of all over the place at Mumbai, but you could argue that it was the final over of the innings that took the game away from them. Kuldeep Yadav's comeback meant they finally had a good game with the ball, but they still allowed LSG to recover from 94-7 to 167 for 7 in the end of the game. Jake Fraser-McGurk scored a 50 on his IPL debut, with Rishabh Pant and Prithvi Shaw chipping in pretty well. The best youngster has been Tristan Stubbs. I've been really impressed with him so far. 189 runs in 6 innings at a strike rate of 190, averaging 63. One of those big knocks was when the pressure had gone out of the game, but I still thought he batted absolutely beautiful in that innings. In fact, kind of all of his best knocks have ended up in losing causes, but I'm not sure that's his fault. Fraser McGurk is someone to watch into the future as well. Their best vet has been David Warner, and Delhi is a kind of a young team, so Warner and Ishant really are 2 of the few players that are probably veterans. And neither of the 2 have been that impressive so far, but Warner's got 166 runs, averaging 28 at a 138 strike rate, while Ishant has been leaking runs at more than 10 runs and over. So maybe it's best vet, but he's definitely a vet. So Delhi's upcoming fixtures, they have 2 games home and away against Gujarat, and in the middle of that, they have a home game against the Sunrisers. To have any hope at all, they're going to have to win all 3 of these games, and I don't know. I don't see it as being particularly likely. I think it's more likely they go 1-2, but I suppose 2-1 gives them some sort of hope. RCB's record this week was 0-1, and they lost to Mumbai away, and it was not an ordinary one. The hosts ended up chasing 197 runs with 27 balls in hand. That led to Faf admitting that they don't have enough weapons in their bowling, and I think what he means by that is they don't have any bowling, which is unfair because their best youngster, Yash Dayal, he's not been particularly great, but He's taken 5 for 158 in 19 overs. He went at 6 runs and over in less than 2 matches and picked up a wicket in all 5 games. However, he was still dropped against Mumbai. And you could argue that Lomraw should be on here, but he's only played the 3 innings. They're just a bit of a mess. Their best vet, Dinesh Karthik. He's turned up like it's 2022, scoring 143 runs at a strike rate of 190, and he's only been out once. I'm not sure what we expected of Dinesh Karthik, but he played an impactful knock in their only win against Punjab and failed to get going in probably 1 game against LSG. And so their upcoming fixtures are versus Sunrisers and then away versus KKR and the Sunrisers again. And it's that time of the year again. RCB fans already have their calculators out, trying to work out if there's any way mathematically they can still make it through to the finals. They would possibly still be in contention 2-1, but realistically, they're going to have to win a lot of games and probably go 3-0 here. They're not going to go 3-0 here, are they? 2-1 even looks pretty tough. They're playing the Sunrisers twice and away at KKR. If they go 2-1 here, they should throw themselves a party, and they still probably won't make the finals. And that's it for another power list. So feel free to drop your power list below in the comments, and remember to tip your waiters, subscribe to this channel, and also tell your mother about us. A lot of people complain that I'm not a former cricketer, and so that I don't really know the game. Well, you know what they can't claim? That I don't know desks. I've been using desks for years. I'm a collector of desks, old and new, and I'm sitting on a new one right now. I'm the Don Bradman of sitting at desks. So when I tell you that the E7 Pro next generation height adjustable desk from FlexiSpot is legit, this is like Michael Jordan talking to you about sneakers. This desk holds 160 kilograms. It is as stable as anything I've ever seen, and it has under desk cable management. But really, the main skill here is that this desk rises and falls at the push of a button, and it moves super quick. And it has so many settings that remember your favorite heights. It really does it all. And I could not recommend the E7 Pro from FlexiSpot anymore, even though I am currently sitting on one of FlexiSpot's BS12 Pro multifunctional, adjustable, upgraded fabric, ergonomic chairs. My butt and computer have never been happier than when using one of FlexiSpot's products. So get over to their page right now for big savings.